Lena's scream sliced through horns on the gritty Los Angeles street, streetlights flickering, exhaust thick. The 21-year-old college student and barista stumbled, Ricky yanking her hair, her book spilling, dreams of college crumbling. The mid-30s drug dealer, raging, spat insults, humiliating Lena for disrupting his deal. Shoppers avoided eyes, vendors froze clutching carts, workers whispered nervously, fear locking their steps. No one dared help, the street's chaos swallowing Lena's cries. At a cafe, Jason Statham sipped coffee, his weathered jacket loose, eyes calm but sharp, haunted by a past inaction. Ricky's grip tightened, sneering, "Who's gonna stop me?" as Lena's pleas pierced the air, her torn pages skidding. Statham's jaw clenched, a failure flashing, someone he didn't save. His cup clinked, fingers flexed, boots scraped as he stepped toward the chaos, power shifting. The crowd's murmurs stilled, horns faded, streetlights casting jagged shadows. Ricky's smirk faltered, his eyes darting as Statham's gaze locked on, cold and unyielding, a storm brewing in his silence. "Big hero, huh?" Ricky sneered, voice cracking, but Statham's steady advance unnerved him, the crowd holding its breath. The air thickened, Lena's sobs a call, Ricky's arrogance teetering, as Statham closed the gap, his presence a blade. Welcome to Statham's Heroics, where grit crushes thugs amid blaring horns and flickering streetlights. Statham's Heroics delivers epic showdowns against brutes like Ricky, terrorizing students like Lena on LA's gritty streets. Ricky's brutality ignites Statham's Muay Thai justice, his fire ready to protect the innocent. Epic news. Want a shout out in our next video? Comment how you'd stop Ricky, smash that like button, and share with friends. Join Statham's Justice Crew. Step into the alley where Statham's grit triumphs, a dramatized tale of heroism unfolding. Subscribe now to join Statham's justice fight. The Los Angeles street thrummed with chaos, horns blaring from stalled cars, streetlights flickering over cracked sidewalks, exhaust thick in the air. Shoppers hustled past pawn shops looming with faded signs, vendors shouted over sizzling food carts, their voices sharp, footsteps scuffing on asphalt gritty underfoot. Dive bars' clamor spilled onto the street, a rough pulse of survival in this unforgiving neighborhood, where shadows held threats and deals turned deadly. The air, heavy with oil and sweat, carried the weight of a place that chewed up dreams, its corners claimed by men like Ricky, who ruled with fear, their names whispered like curses. Jason Statham sat at a cafe's wobbly table, coffee steaming, his weathered jacket loose over a Muay Thai honed frame. Scars traced his knuckles, faint lines of battles won, his eyes calm but sharp, scanning the street. In town to visit an old friend, he craved quiet, but his mind drifted to a past failure, a face he couldn't save, a moment he froze, the scream still echoing. His discipline, forged in sweat and pain, hid beneath a stillness, but those scars, etched deep, whispered of a strength ready to surge, a fire waiting for a spark. Ricky, mid-30s, prowled the sidewalk, his leather jacket creaking, eyes wild with rage. A mid-level drug dealer, he'd lost thousands when Lena, a college student, accidentally bumped his courier, spilling a stash that triggered a police raid. The bust seized his product and landed a crew member in jail, a humiliation that stung his pride. Insecure, his dominance shaken, Ricky tracked Lena to her library route, determined to reassert control. His loud insults and brutal grip were a message. No one, not even an innocent, crosses him without paying a price. His cruelty masked a fear, of losing face, of fading into the street's shadows. Carl, an elderly shopkeeper, stood in his store's doorway, broom in hand, his weathered face set. Muttering about Ricky's reign, he'd watched the thug terrorize the neighborhood for years, his shop shelves rattling from fights outside. Fed up, his grip on the broom tightened, a quiet defiance brewing, his eyes flicking to the chaos unfolding. Lena, a barista studying to escape this life, was a regular, her textbooks a symbol of hope he admired. Her screams now cut through him, stirring a resolve he hadn't felt in decades, his muttering a vow to act, if only the moment came. The street's pulse quickened, vendors clutching carts, shoppers darting glances, workers hushing their chatter, all sensing the storm. Statham's coffee cooled, his fingers tracing the table's edge, his clenched fists a silent promise. Carl's broom twitched, his restless grip a signal, his muttering sharper. Bystanders glanced at Statham, their whispers, "Who's that guy?" A faint ripple in the crowd's fear, a spark of hope amid the horn's wail. The air thickened, the streets chaos a crucible, Lena's spilled books a call to action. Ricky's shouts grew louder, his dominance a fragile mask, the neighborhood trembling under his rage, yet poised for a shift. Statham's past failure loomed, a shadow he'd banish, his scars itching for justice. Carl's eyes narrowed, his broom a weapon waiting, the street's rhythm faltering as defiance stirred, a clash brewing in the flickering light. The crowd's tension swelled, vendors pausing, shoppers slowing, their glances at Statham lingering, sensing something beyond his calm. Ricky's crew, scattered after the raid, left him exposed, his bravado a thin shield, his insults a desperate grab for control. Lena's textbooks, torn and scattered, lay like broken promises, her studies a lifeline Ricky crushed. Statham's breath steadied, his failure a ghost he'd face, his friends' trust a reason to stay grounded. Carl's muttering grew fierce, his broom a symbol of resistance, the shopkeeper's heart pounding with years of pent-up anger. The street, alive with horns and scuffing feet, held its breath, the flickering streetlights a countdown, the gritty asphalt a stage where Statham's grit and Carl's courage would ignite, a dramatized promise of justice unfolding. Ricky's voice tore through the gritty Los Angeles street, rain spitting, horns fading, asphalt gritty underfoot. "You snitch!" he screamed at Lena, a 21-year-old college student, dragging her by her hair, her book skidding, pages ripping. "Ruined my deal, huh?" The mid-30s drug dealer, eyes wild, mocked her studies, sneering, "Think books save you?" His leather jacket creaked, rage boiling from Lena's accidental collision that sparked a police raid, costing him thousands. He spun, spotting Jason Statham stepping from the cafe, and barked, "Big hero, huh?" taunting his calm presence, voice dripping venom. The street's pulse faltered, streetlights flickering, exhaust lingering, as shoppers clutched bags, vendors winced, their whispers swallowed by fear. Statham, his weathered jacket loose, stood firm, Muay Thai scars tracing his knuckles, eyes steady. "Let her go," he said, voice low, fists tightening, a warning sharp as a blade. The crowd's murmurs stilled, rain pattering, the air thick with Lena's sobs, her textbook sodden, dreams trampled. Ricky laughed, kicking her books across the sidewalk, pages fluttering like broken wings, glaring at bystanders. "Who's stopping me?" he roared, daring Statham. His crew's absence a wound to his pride, the raid sting fueling his cruelty. Shoppers froze, a worker stepped forward then retreated, vendors gripped carts, the street's chaos a crucible for Ricky's dominance. Lena stumbled, her cries piercing, rain streaking her face, the barista's hope crushed under Ricky's boots. Statham's jaw clenched, his past failure, a woman's scream he ignored, flashing, a ghost he'd bury. He paused, breath steady, hesitating to unleash violence, the streets flicker a mirror to his doubt. Ricky sensed it, dragging Lena harder, her arm twisting, her book scattering further, a textbook spine snapping. "What, hero? Scared?" he jeered, spitting, his voice a lash, mocking Statham's silence. The crowd's tension swelled, shoppers whispering, "He's just standing there," vendors muttering, "Ricky's crazy," their inaction a weight, rain soaking their coats. Statham's eyes narrowed, the failure's echo fading, his Muay Thai discipline afire beneath his calm. "Last chance," he said, voice cutting, fists coiled, rain dripping from his jacket. Ricky scoffed, shoving Lena's books into a puddle, his sneer daring Statham, the street's horns a distant wail. The dealer's taunts grew louder, jeering Lena's dreams. "College girl thinks she's better?" His cruelty a desperate grab for control, his crew's jail time a humiliation he'd erase. Bystanders shifted, a vendor's cart rattling, a shopper's bag slipping, their glances at Statham sharpening, sensing his resolve, the air heavy with exhaust and rain. Lena's sobs broke, her knees scraping asphalt, textbooks ruined, her escape from the neighborhood drowning in Ricky's rage. Statham's pause lingered, the woman's scream from years ago ringing, a moment he'd failed, a life lost. His fingers twitched, rain slicking his knuckles, the streets flicker a countdown. Ricky, emboldened, yanked Lena's hair, her cries spiking, his glare at Statham a challenge. "Step up or shut up." The crowd's murmurs surged, a worker whispering, "He's got to do something," vendors leaning forward, the street's chaos a heartbeat, rain spitting harder, asphalt gleaming. Statham's breath steadied, his hesitation a flicker, the failure's ghost fading under Lena's plea. His boots scuffed, eyes locked on Ricky, the dealer's smirk faltering, a crack in his bravado. The street's pulse quickened, horns muffled, rain a steady drum, bystanders' eyes darting, shoppers clutching bags tighter, vendors' carts still. Ricky's insults echoed, "Heroes all talk!" But his voice wavered, the raid sting, his crew's loss, his stash gone, gnawing at his pride. Lena's books lay sodden, her sobs a call, her dreams a spark Statham wouldn't let die, the street a stage for his stand. The crowd's tension peaked, a bystander muttering, "He's moving," another gasping, the air thick, rain blurring the streetlight's glow. Statham's fists tightened, his failure buried, his Muay Thai fire ready, the street's chaos a crucible for justice. Ricky's taunts faltered, his grip on Lena shaking, his dominance teetering, the crowd's whispers. Is he really gonna fight? A chorus of doubt. The asphalt, slick with rain, reflected Statham's shadow, his calm a storm's edge, Lena's cry a final spark, the street trembling, exhaust fading, horn silent. Ricky's sneer, "Come on, hero!" cracked, his eyes darting, the dealer's rage meeting Statham's resolve, a dramatized clash poised to erupt, the crowd's breath held, ready for Statham's move. Ricky's rage exploded, his snarl cutting through the pounding rain, streetlights dimming over the slick asphalt of the Los Angeles street. He shoved Lena into a puddle, her knees splashing, textbook sinking, the 21-year-old barista gasping, hair matted, eyes wild with terror. "Stay down!" he barked, brandishing a fist, his mid-30s frame taut, leather jacket gleaming wet. Lena's accidental collision had gutted his drug deal, a police raid snatching thousands, and now he'd shame her, his glare burning. "Back off, hero!" he snapped at Jason Statham, jeering his calm, voice sharp. "Too soft to fight, huh?" Workers murmured, shoppers cheered nervously, vendors edged closer, a shopper gripped a bag, rain drenching their coats, exhaust fading in the damp air. Statham stood firm, his weathered jacket sodden, Muay Thai scars faint on his knuckles, eyes fixed on Ricky. Composed, he held his ground, rain streaking his face, but a deep breath betrayed his hesitation, fearing Lena's harm if he struck too soon. The ghost of his past failure, a woman's scream he ignored, echoed, urging restraint, his jaw tight. Ricky's taunts surged, rapid and biting. "What's it gonna be, tough guy? Run?" he sneered, mocking Statham's restraint, his fist hovering near Lena's face. The crowd's tension swelled, workers whispering, "He's not moving," shoppers clutching bags, vendors leaning in, the street's chaos a heartbeat, rain hammering the asphalt. Lena sobbed, her books ruined, dreams of college drowning in the puddle, her barista apron torn. Ricky's fist loomed, his jeers relentless. "Think you're better than me?" he spat, aiming to shame Statham publicly, his voice a lash. "You're nothing." The dealer's eyes darted, his crew's absence a wound, the raid sting fueling his need to dominate. Shoppers whispered doubts, "Ricky's losing it," a vendor muttered. "He's pushing too far," their faces taut, rain blurring their view. A worker edged forward, then froze, fear locking his step, the crowd's inaction await, the street's pulse faltering, horns muffled in the downpour. Statham's breath slowed, his hesitation a flicker, fearing Lena's safety, the memory of that lost scream gnawing. His eyes stayed locked, unyielding, rain dripping from his brow, his calm a storm's edge. Ricky, sensing pause, shoved Lena harder, her shoulder scraping asphalt, her cry spiking. "See? Nobody cares!" he roared, jeering Statham's silence, demanding he back off. The crowd's murmurs grew, a shopper gasping, "She's hurt," another muttering, "Someone's gotta stop him," their voices low, rain soaking their shoes. Vendors gripped carts, a worker's fists clenched, the street's air thick, exhaust fading, the chaos a crucible for Statham's resolve. Carl, the elderly shopkeeper, stood in his doorway, broom in hand, his weathered face set, muttering fiercer about Ricky's reign. His grip tightened, broom twitching, defiance burning, his eyes on Lena, her screams a call. He'd watched Ricky terrorize the street for years, his shop shelves rattling from fights, and now, fed up, he stepped forward, broom raised, a silent vow. The crowd noticed, a vendor nudging another. "Look at Carl," shoppers glancing, their doubts swelling. Statham's hesitation lingered, his past failure a shadow, but Lena's sob cut deeper, her book sodden, her hope trampled. He took a deep breath, rain pounding, streetlights dimming, fearing a wrong move could worsen her plight. Ricky's taunts sharpened, his fist waving. "You're scared, hero," he mocked, jeering Statham's calm, his voice cracking with desperation. "She's mine." Lena's cry broke, her arm twisting, the barista's strength fading, her textbook sinking deeper, pages torn. The crowd's tension peaked, a bystander shouting, "Help her!" Voice raw, rain streaking his face. A vendor clapped, a worker cheered, "Come on!" Others nodding, questioning Ricky's dominance. Shoppers whispered, "He's not backing down," a vendor muttered, "Ricky's done." Their voices rising, the street's chaos shifting, horns silent, rain a relentless drum. Quick! Will Statham fight Ricky or talk him down? Vote now in the comments. Statham's eyes narrowed, his hesitation a moment, the failure's echo fading under Lena's plea. His boots scuffed the slick asphalt, rain dripping, his Muay Thai discipline a fire ready to flare. The crowd shift surged, a shopper's cheer louder, "Do something!" A vendor's clap echoing, Carl's broom raised higher, his muttering now a growl. Ricky's smirk wavered, his fist trembling, the dealer's rage teetering, his crew's loss a gnawing wound. "You're nobody," he spat, voice faltering, jeering Statham's restraint, but the crowd's hope grew, a worker shouting, "Get him!" The street's pulse pounding, exhaust gone, rain blurring the lights. Lena's sobs softened, her knees bruised, her books a sodden heap, her dreams clinging by a thread. Statham's breath steadied, his fear for her safety sharp, but his resolve hardened, the past's ghost buried. Ricky's taunts faltered, his glare darting, "What's it gonna be?" He sneered, shoving Lena's shoulder, her cry a spark. The crowd's voices swelled, shoppers nodding, "He's got this," vendors leaning in, Carl's broom a defiant flag, his eyes blazing. The street's chaos tightened, rain hammering, streetlights casting jagged shadows, the asphalt a stage for Statham's stand. The crowd's hope flared, a bystander's shout, "Save her!" Ringing, a vendor's clap steady, workers cheering, "Go on!" Carl's grip on his broom tightened, his step forward bold, muttering, "Enough's enough!" Shoppers whispered, "Ricky's losing," a worker's cheer louder, the street's rhythm shifting, rain a curtain, horns a distant hum. Statham's hesitation faded, his eyes locked, rain slicking his knuckles, his calm a blade. Ricky's fist wavered, his taunts weaker, "You're nothing!" But his voice cracked, the dealer's dominance crumbling, the crowd shift a tide, their doubts now defiance. Lena's cry pierced, her book sinking, her college hope battered, but her eyes met Statham's, a flicker of trust. The crowd's murmurs surged, shoppers cheering, "He's the real deal," vendors nodding, Carl's broom raised, his defiance a spark. The street's air thickened, rain pounding, streetlights dimming, the chaos a heartbeat, Statham's resolve afire. Ricky's sneer faltered, his grip on Lena slipping, his rage a fading echo, the crowd's hope a roar, workers shouting, "Take him!" The asphalt gleamed, exhaust gone, the street a crucible, Statham's stand imminent, Carl's broom a vow, the dramatized clash poised for an alley brawl, the crowd's cheers a spark, ready for justice. The narrow, rain-soaked alley erupted, crates splintering as Jason Statham and Ricky collided, a bare-knuckle brawl igniting the Los Angeles night. Rain lashed the slick asphalt, shadows shifting under flickering streetlights, the air thick with faint exhaust. Statham's weathered jacket clung to his Muay Thai honed frame, his boots scuffing, eyes locked on Ricky. The mid-30s drug dealer swung wildly, his leather jacket flapping, fist arcing, a snarl twisting his face. "You're done, hero," he jeered, voice sharp, aiming to crush Statham's calm. Lena, crumpled in the puddle, sobbed, her book sodden, the 21-year-old barista's cries piercing the rain's roar. The crowd spilled into the alley's mouth, vendors shouting, shoppers clutching bags, their cheers nervous, rain drenching their faces. Statham sidestepped, Ricky's fist grazing air, his swing clumsy, rage blinding him. A crate cracked, wood shards flying, as Statham snapped a knee lift, thudding into Ricky's side. The dealer grunted, stumbling, sweat mixing with rain, eyes widening, his confidence cracking. Panting, he swung again, fist flailing, but Statham's elbow strike slammed his jaw, a sharp crack echoing. Ricky reeled, boots slipping, the alley's shadows dancing, rain pounding harder. The crowd gasped, a vendor's shout, "Get him!" Cutting through, shoppers edging closer, their murmurs swelling, "He's too fast." The asphalt gleamed, Lena's sob softer, her hope flickering, the street's chaos a heartbeat. Ricky's realization hit, his panting ragged, stumbling back, rain streaking his face, eyes darting. Statham's precision was relentless, dodging a wild hook, delivering another elbow strike, bone meeting bone. The dealer's knees buckled, his swings slowing, the raid sting, his lost stash, jailed crew, now a distant wound. Statham snapped another knee lift, ribs crunching, Ricky's breath hitching, his dominance shattering. The crowd's roar surged, a shopper's applause breaking, vendors shouting, "He's got him!" The rain lashed, shadows shifted, the alley a crucible, Statham's scars glowing under the wet jacket, his calm a blade slicing Ricky's bravado. Carl, the elderly shopkeeper, pushed through, broom in hand, his weathered face fierce. Muttering, "No more," he swung, the broom cracking Ricky's lookout, a hulking thug, tripping him into a crate, wood splintering. Cheers erupted, a vendor clapping, "Go, Carl!" Shoppers roaring, the crowd's hope afire. Lena staggered up, her book sinking, rain blurring her tears, her college dreams clinging. Statham dodged Ricky's desperate jab, sidestepping, his elbow striking the dealer's temple, a dull thud. Ricky crumpled, asphalt scraping his knees, his fist limp, eyes wide with shock, rain washing sweat away, his reign over the street broken. Statham's full skill blazed, Muay Thai precision unyielding. He sidestepped, rain dripping, snapping a knee lift to Ricky's chest, freeing Lena with a swift pull. Her arm trembled, her cry fading, books forgotten in the puddle. Carl's broom swung again, tripping the lookout's leg, the thug sprawling, sparking louder cheers. "He's no ordinary guy." Carl gasped, voice raw, his broom a flag of defiance. Vendors shouted, "Take him down!" Shoppers applauded, the crowd roaring, a tidal wave of awe, rain lashing their faces, shadows shifting over the slick asphalt. The street's pulse pounded, exhaust faint, the alley a stage where Statham's prowess stunned, his scars a testament, Lena's hope reborn. The crowd's cheers swelled, a worker yelling, "Finish it!" Shoppers clapping, vendors pumping fists, their doubt in Ricky gone. Statham stepped back, rain streaming, his jacket heavy, eyes fixed on the dealer. Ricky's panting slowed, his stumble a surrender, eyes hollow, the alley's chaos fading, rain a steady drum. Lena clutched her torn apron, her sobs quiet, her gaze on Statham, trust glowing. Carl's broom rested, his muttering stilled, his defiance a spark that lit the crowd, a shopper whispering, "He saved her," a vendor nodding, "Ricky's done." The asphalt shimmered, the streetlights flicker softening, the rain's roar a backdrop to Statham's stand, the crowd's awe a chorus. Statham's breath steadied, his elbow strikes and knee lifts a memory, his calm unbroken, the alley's shadows settling. Ricky's fist fell, his jeer silenced, his rage a puddle mixing with rain, his eyes avoiding Lena's. The crowd's roar peaked, a bystander shouting, "Hero!" Vendors cheering, shoppers' applause thundering, the street alive with hope. Lena's books lay ruined, but her resolve hardened, her barista's grit a spark, her college dream intact. Carl's eyes blazed, his broom a symbol, the shopkeeper's stand a vow, the crowd's cheers echoing, "He's the real deal." The rain lashed, the alley's crate silent, the asphalt slick, Statham's prowess afire, Ricky's defeat a shock. The street's chaos softened, horns gone, exhaust a whisper, the crowd's roar a hymn of justice. Statham's jacket dripped, his scars faint, his silence deafening, the alley a crucible where grit triumphed. Ricky's stumble ended, his knees pressed to asphalt, his eyes down, the dealer's reign shattered, rain washing his pride away. Lena rose, her arm bruised, her hope fierce, her gaze on Statham a lifeline. Carl's broom stood firm, his defiance a beacon, the crowd's awe spark, vendors shouting, "He did it!" Shoppers cheering, the street's pulse shifting, the dramatized brawl a vow, poised for Ricky's humbled exit, the crowd's hope afire for Lena's stand. The alley's rain slowed, shadows steady, the crowd's cheers a tide, workers nodding, "He's no thug," shoppers whispering, "She's safe." Statham's eyes softened, his Muay Thai fire banked, his stand complete, Lena freed, her sobs stilled. Carl's voice carried, "No ordinary guy." His broom a salute, the crowd roaring, vendors clapping, shoppers' applause a wave. The asphalt gleamed, the streetlights flicker faint, the rain's lash easing, the alley a stage where Statham's skill awed, Ricky's defeat a jolt, Lena's courage a spark, the dramatized clash a beacon, the crowd's hope soaring, ready for justice's echo. Ricky fled, limping through the rain-soaked alley, his torn jacket flapping, head bowed, shame carving his face. The mid-30s drug dealer's rage, once afire, lay silenced by Statham's skill, his boots scuffing wet asphalt, eyes dodging the crowd's gaze. Rain eased, streetlights steadied, faint exhaust curling in the Los Angeles air, the alley's crate splintered, a testament to his defeat. He stumbled, shoulder brushing a wall, his snarl gone, the dealer who'd terrorized Lena now a shadow, his dominance shattered, his crew's loss a distant echo. Vendors murmured, "He's done." Shoppers stared, their whispers sharp, the street's pulse slowing, asphalt glistening under the dim glow. Jason Statham stood calm, his weathered jacket dripping, Muay Thai scars faint on his knuckles, eyes soft but resolute. He knelt, gathering Lena's sodden books, their pages torn, and handed them to her, steadying her trembling arm. "Keep studying," he said, voice low, no gloat in his tone. His empathy a quiet strength. Lena, the 21-year-old barista, stood taller, resolve firm, her bruised knees steady, rain streaking her face, college dreams intact. Statham glanced at the crowd, adding, "Thanks to fan name, for backing my stand." His words warm, a nod to fans fueling the fight. The crowd's awe swelled, vendors clapping, shoppers nodding, their cheers from the brawl now reverence, the alley's air thick with relief. Carl, the elderly shopkeeper, gripped his broom, eyes alight, inspired by Statham's grit. Muttering, "No more terror," he vowed to fight neighborhood crime, planning a community patrol, his weathered face fierce. He'd watched Ricky's reign too long, his shop rattled by fights, and now, rallying neighbors, he saw a path forward, his resolve a spark from Statham's stand. Vendors whispered awe, Carl stepping up, a worker cheered, "About time!" Shoppers murmured, "He's got guts," their voices rising, rain easing, streetlights casting a steady glow. Lena clutched her books, her sobs stilled, her barista apron damp but her spirit unbroken, Carl's vow a lifeline, the street's chaos fading, asphalt wet underfoot. The crowd's tension dissolved, a shopper's applause soft, "He saved her," a vendor's nod firm, "Ricky's finished." Statham's composure, unyielding, drew eyes, his silence louder than Ricky's taunts, his scars a map of battles won, not flaunted. Lena's gaze met his, gratitude glowing, her college hope reborn, her torn textbooks a badge of survival. Carl's broom rested, his muttering now a plan, rallying neighbors to patrol, his eyes blazing with purpose, the crowd's murmurs a chorus. "They're changing things." The street's rhythm softened, exhaust faint, rain a gentle patter, the alley a crucible where Statham's empathy and Carl's defiance burned, a dramatized justice unfolding. Bystanders whispered reverence, "He's no ordinary guy," shoppers echoing, "She's tougher than she looks," vendors murmuring, "Carl's got fire." Statham stepped back, his boots splashing, rain easing, his jacket heavy, eyes scanning the crowd. The alley's shadows settled, crates silent, the streetlights glow warming, the streets pulse a hymn of relief. Ricky's shame deepened, avoiding eyes, limping past a vendor's cart, his head low, his reign a memory, the crowd's gaze cold, their whispers cutting. He had it coming. Lena's resolve grew, standing taller, her bruised arms steady, her books clutched tight, her dream of escaping the neighborhood alive, Carl's patrol a spark for her future. The crowds all lingered, a worker nodding, he didn't need to brag, a shopper murmuring, "She'll make it." Statham's empathy shone, calming Lena with a steady hand, his voice a quiet anchor, his shout-out a bridge to fans, their support a fire. Carl's insight flared, his vow to rally neighbors a plan, his broom a symbol, his shop a beacon for change, the crowd's cheers a vow, "We're with them." The street's air cleared, rain fading, streetlights steadying, the asphalt wet but calm, the alley a stage where Statham's stand and Lena's courage glowed, hope rising from Ricky's defeat. Statham turned, walking away, boots splashing through puddles, rain a faint drizzle, his silhouette sharp against the streetlights. Bystanders whispered reverence, "He's the real deal," vendors murmuring, "That strength," shoppers standing still, their awe silent salute. The crowd's voices softened, a worker's cheer fading, "He did it," a shopper's nod quiet, "She's safe." Lena held her books, resolve firm, her barista's grit a spark, Carl's patrol a promise, the street's chaos now a memory, exhaust gone, the air clean. Statham's quiet exit, boots echoing, left the crowd in awe, the alley's rain easing, the dramatized triumph a beacon, leading into a justice movement, the street alive with hope. The rain faded, asphalt drying under glowing streetlights, the Los Angeles street quiet, its pulse calm. Jason Statham's stand, a beacon of justice, showed strength in defending the vulnerable, inspiring a neighborhood to rise against crime. His Muay Thai scars, silent witnesses, proved grit triumphs where cruelty fails, uniting a community fractured by fear. Carl, the elderly shopkeeper, his broom now a symbol, stood with neighbors, their unity a shield forged in the alley's chaos, a vow to protect their own. The street's air, once thick with exhaust, cleared, the horn's wail gone, the night alive with hope, a dramatized triumph echoing Lena's cry from that gritty evening. Ricky, once a terror, dodged old haunts, his limping gait a shadow, eyeing his crew warily, their loyalty frayed. His torn jacket hung heavy, his dominance a memory, a hint of humility creeping into his thoughts. The dealer's inner doubts stirred, the raid sting, his lost stash, jailed crew, now a lesson, his rage a faded echo. He avoided the street, his head low, rethinking his reign, the alley's rain washing his pride away. Vendors murmured, "He's changed." A shopper nodded, "He's scared now." Their tales spreading, the neighborhood's pulse shifting, streetlights steady, the air clean, relief settling like dust. True heroism sparked courage, Lena's watch rallying neighbors, a barista's grit igniting a movement. Her torn textbooks, once trampled, became a badge, her college dreams fueling patrols with Carl, their steps bold, their eyes fierce. Lena's growth, organizing the neighborhood watch, mirrored Statham's stand, her resolve a fire, her bruised knees a testament. Carl's defiance, planning patrols, inspired vendors, their carts rolling with purpose, shoppers joining, whispering, "We're stronger now." The street's rhythm sang, rain a memory, asphalt warm, the community's unity a spark from Statham's silence, his scars a map of hope, Lena's courage a beacon. The crowd's tales grew, vendors sharing, Statham saved her, shoppers murmuring, Lena's leading us. Their voices a chorus, the street's glow a promise. Carl's influence spread, his shop a hub, neighbors planning, his broom a rally cry, his eyes alight with purpose. The charity thrived, funds soaring, the neighborhood watch a shield, Lena's patrols a vow, her barista's apron now a mantle. Statham's heroism, quiet and fierce, awed the street, his exit, boots splashing, etched in memory, the crowd's reverence a him, workers nodding, "He's no ordinary guy," vendors whispering, "That's grit." The streetlights glowed, exhaust gone, the air soft, the dramatized justice afire, burning bright. Lena stood taller, her books clutched, her resolve a spark, organizing with Carl, their patrols a rhythm, the street's pulse strong. Shoppers shared tales, "She's unstoppable," vendors murmured. "Carl's our rock," their hope a tide, the neighborhood reborn. Ricky's change lingered, his haunts empty, his crew's glances wary, his doubts a seed, humility a faint glow. The street's night softened, asphalt drying, streetlights steady, the community's grit a vow, Statham's stand a catalyst, Lena's watch a call, Carl's defiance a spark. The air hummed, the street's chaos gone, the dramatized triumph a legacy, the neighborhood's heart alight with courage. Statham's silence spoke, his scars a story, his exit a vow, the alley's rain a faded echo, the street's glow a beacon. The crowd's awe endured, workers whispering, "He changed us," shoppers nodding, "Lena's our hero." Carl's patrols grew, vendors joining, their tales afire, the charity's funds a lifeline, the neighborhood watch a fortress. Lena's growth shone, her college dreams fierce, her barista's grit a spark, Carl's broom a symbol, their stand a movement. The street's pulse steadied, rain gone, asphalt warm, the dramatized justice a vow, Statham's heroism a fire, burning eternal, inspiring all. If you believe grit wins, like now, comment your gritty moment below.